Hello, this video is going to be about YMAX, stock ticker YMAX, and where it could go into the future. Is everyone enjoying the 9-day rally in the stocks? I know I am. So here we are on TradingView using the weekly chart, and as you can see, it goes from bottom left to top right, and that's because TradingView assumes that you're taking the dividend and reinvesting into your position. So even though the stock price of YMAX was not $6.50 in the beginning, if you were to use YMAX as this vehicle, this tool, and reinvested every dividend, you would currently be at 841 with your position. So you are obviously up and green, which is great for everyone. But for example, if you took your same position and bought the SPY, you would be up $4,000, for example, if you bought around $15,000 back in June 2024. The SPY was around 520-ish, 530-ish, and you sold today. You would have made $4,000 on 27 shares, around $15,000. But if you bought YMAX, you would have reinvested $15,000, nearly $15,000 back into your YMAX position already. And we can prove that to you real quick with my actual position. Now, here is a chart. It turns out that my initial investment was slightly above 14,500. It's 14,850-ish, give or take a couple of bucks. And that was an average share price of 1980. So, and since then, I have been taking the dividend and purchasing shares as a result of that dividend and keeping track of my total dividends to date. So if we go to the return of capital chart, return of capital, now the return of capital, I should say, from my initial 14,850 investment, it has turned that investment into 10,684 via return of capital. So when I go to sell these shares in the future, I will pay tax on this return of capital. Now, if I hold these shares for longer than a year, I pay less of a return of capital tax than if I were to not or sell these shares pre-yearly maturely, right? So let's pull out the calculator real quick. We got 14,850 minus 10,684, 4,166. So that's about the same price. That's about the same amount of money if you bought the SPY at the same time and sold it today. You bought 27 shares of the SPY back in June when I bought YMAX, and you sold it today, you would make $4,000. I find that number to be very intriguing. It's crazy how the numbers line up so well, but math is math, right? Math is math. So speaking of math, I have stopped purchasing shares after I hit around my initial investment of around 14.5. Now it turns out that I could have went 2 more weeks to reach 14,850, but you live and you learn. We ain't gonna stress. No stress, no mess. Right? So since then, I have made $1,251 via the dividend, and I've just been sitting on this cash. Except for last Taco Tuesday. I took this $162 dividend and I bought a call option on the SPY on 4/7/2026. I bought a Taco Tuesday trade. There was news about the end of the world. Trump could bomb Iran into oblivion, and I called his bluff Taco Tuesday. And if I would have held, I would have made another $400. But I sold it on the open. And the next 2 days, the price bounced below a little, bounced above a little. I would have had a $100 drawdown and cried about not taking the $400. Seeing it at $300 profit instead, I would have cried. But then 3 days later, I don't know. People just keep buying the market, which is fine with me, because I really don't care. So I turned my 162 dividend from YMAX into an extra $400, and now I'm sitting on $400, wondering what to do with it. I also bought a Nvidia share pre-earnings, and I've held it for over 40 days now. And today the price of the Nvidia is 198, so I've made a coffee. Nvidia, investing in Nvidia 40 days ago made me a coffee today. So I can't complain about coffee. I like coffee. Who doesn't like coffee? So that's something you could do with your dividend from YMAX. You could use your dividend from YMAX to purchase other tools in the market, maybe, I don't know, other ETFs, other stocks. Do whatever you want with it, right? It's your money. But one of the amazing things about the return to capital events that happen, they go back in time to the very beginning. From my very first purchase, return of capital happened twice now. This has been the second return of capital event that I have experienced since June 2024. And it went all the way back to the very beginning. I had to fix every single cost per share purchase number. Now, that I may have fixed my cost per share average total, but I have not fixed the rest of my chart. I fixed the important parts, and then I deleted everything. Let's see, total unused cash. This is wrong. This is based on previous numbers. This total unused cash part, because it's based on the cost per share. So there's a little code error in which I was just getting this number from this number, but now this number changed, so this number is now wrong. You see what I mean? So, like, I built my chart pre return of capital science, and I'm just now learning this return of capital science. So I do not intend on selling my position, because I would have to pay the taxes on that $4,000 return of capital. And that's not what we're doing here. We are currently going to hold for the next year and a half until I get all my gosh darn money back that I reinvested, right? So I got my initial investment back via dividends, and then I reinvested it, right? Okay. And that happened technically March 6th, 2026. So when can I expect getting all my money back again? Well, that looks like December, January, December 2027 or January 2028. So this is a long-term play. If you are not a long-term player, you're gonna hate YMAX. You're gonna shit all over the videos, YouTubes, like everyone else does, because they don't actually hold a position. They say YMAX is going to zero. Who cares? They are doing the work for me, and I appreciate that, and I'm gonna continue holding because it's so easy. It's so easy.